everybody, Sarah Lane here. Welcome to iFive for the iPhone, episode 1. This is the show for us, the iPhone fans. And each week we're going to cover 5 topics, from the apps you must have to the news you must know. So without further ado, let's get to it. Number 1. Wouldn't it be nice to have all of those news articles that you didn't have time to read read to you on your commute? Or maybe at the gym, or while you're doing one of those other many chores we all have that keep us from reading. If you've wished for this, you will love a new free app called SoundGecko. It's brand new, just launched last week, and here's how it works. You sign up for an account at SoundGecko.com, and then from whatever email you associated with your account, you send story links to go@SoundGecko.com. Or, if you're a Chrome user, you can get the extension, I am a Chrome user, and when you see a story you like, you can add to SoundGecko. This, in my opinion, is definitely the easiest method. Then, a story you add will show up in the SoundGecko app within a couple of minutes. From there, just hit play. When SoundGecko finishes an article, it'll automatically move on to the next one.
Today, Google said the latest round of warnings sent out this week can be safely ignored.
You can jump back to the original article from within the app. That can be helpful for context. If an article maybe contains an embedded video, SoundGecko will go ahead and skip over that. Maybe you want to watch it later. Or share the audio link on Twitter, Facebook, via email, or an SMS. You can also link up SoundGecko to your Dropbox or your Google Drive account to access these files from anywhere. Very helpful. My only gripe so far is that SoundGecko will also email you a link to any article that you added, in addition to adding it to your app playlist. I don't like email. This feels like a receipt I don't need, and I'd really like the option to turn those emails off in the next version. Overall, it's good stuff, and the voice is pretty good for a robot. Number 2. An app I've tried to work into my routine, but could never really quite get it to stick. Highlight. Quick refresher if you're not familiar with Highlight. You're sitting in a cafe, you don't know anybody around you, so you load up Highlight on your phone to find other Highlight users who might be physically near you and might share some of your interests. You like the same Facebook page maybe, or they work at a company that you've done business with. A profile image matches that really attractive person sitting next to you. But now you have an icebreaker for a real-world conversation. Highlight's latest version, which is 1.2, does all of that and more. So now when I fire up the app, I can choose to start a thread with everybody near me at that cafe, regardless of our common interests. So maybe the cafe serves really good hash browns, and I want to let everybody know that. Or I want to warn people that the meter maids are making the rounds outside on the street. The feature feels a little bit like Twitter, but for a very localized group. I can also write notes on others' profiles, and they can on mine, as long as we're already Facebook friends. And if I highlight somebody, it's kind of like I'm giving them a bookmark for meeting up with them at a later date, and I can choose to get a notification next time they're actually nearby me. The new features definitely make Highlight feel a little bit more usable, but probably won't make you want to strike up conversations with strangers if you're not already at least a mildly outgoing person in the first place. And I know I'm not alone in this, and I don't want to harp on Highlight, but that logo has got to go. Physical eye pain should not be part of the App Store, and that's all I have to say about that. Number 3. The team from Fotopedia, they're makers of travel-based apps with the tagline, "Discover the beauty of the world," and their apps are really nice, are on their 11th app, Fotopedia China. It's a free app. It's one part daydreaming through pictures and flipping through slideshows and wishing you were somewhere else, and another part actual serious travel planning. For example, I can do research on Shanghai, and then I can organize those don't miss places that I see into a trip. I call the trip whatever I want, or I can just kick back and watch a slideshow, or I can read some trivia about places that maybe I'll never go to. According to Fotopedia, China is actually their biggest market. 20% of their 12 million app downloads for iPhone and iPad have come from China. So it'll be interesting to see if Fotopedia can get those kinds of numbers from China with an app about China. But they'll definitely do well with those of us outside of China who want to know more about a huge and sometimes kind of mysterious country. And free, the app, not China. Number 4. So a few days ago, the internet got word that Sparrow mail life, as many of us know it, is over, which was a very quick life because Sparrow Mail for iOS only came out about 4 months ago. But in those 4 months, a lot of us got very used to how much better the email experience was inside of Sparrow and the app for iPhone than Apple's native mail app, which is okay, but leaves something to be desired, or for us Gmail users, the official Gmail app, which is really no more than kind of a skin for the web version. It's not good at all. Sparrow has swipeable panes, it's got great label support, it's got that unified inbox for those of us with multiple ones, really nice design, all great stuff. So why is it all over? Well, because Google bought Sparrow. And now the Sparrow team is joining the team at Google, which is good news because the Gmail app will probably get a lot better, but bad news because the Sparrow project is essentially abandoned. Now the Sparrow team says it will continue to provide support for the app, but we're not going to see any more updates. Them's the breaks when you fall in love with an app made by a company that wants to be sold. And finally, number 5. If you are lucky enough to be in London for the Summer Olympics, or if you're just visiting the UK anytime soon, and you've got an unlocked iPhone, I've got a great deal for you from the 3 network. £15 gets you a micro SIM card that includes 1 month of 300 minutes, 3,000 texts, and unlimited data. Unlimited data for a month for the equivalent of $23 US. That's good value. I bought this very SIM card myself when I was in England last month, and I can say it works as advertised. This is the sort of deal that makes the $85 that I pay Verizon each month that much more insulting. You win this round, 3. That's it for the very first episode of iFive for the iPhone. Went by quick, didn't it? We're a brand new show, and we really do want to know what you think. Constructive criticism is not only welcome, but necessary to help us make the best show possible. You can email us at iFive@twit.tv. You can leave us a voicemail at 614 on iFive, or you can send us a video with an app review of your own. In fact, I've already gotten one, and I'm going to put it in next week's show. I'm Sarah Lane. Thanks for watching, and thanks for spreading the word about iFive for the iPhone. You are spreading the word, right? See you next week.